Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast is my co-host, Rebellious D. How you doing today, bro?
Ready to rock, man.
Hey, I see you got the moves, man, and you're going to need them because we're about to do this review for Chucky, episode 4, Just Let Go. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And D, take it away.
As always, podcast in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Hit that little thumbs up down in the corner. You know, we need everybody to do that. Thanks for watching.
So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Another really good episode of Chucky, bro. I love how on every episode we get flashbacks of who Charles Lee Ray is. You know, I feel like that this helps develop his character even more because we really don't get that much development from Chucky. Like when you look at all of the Child's Play movies and stuff like that, all you know is that he's just a killer and he wants to take over somebody's body so that way he can have a human body again. But with this, it's like we see, you know, how he became the way that he did. Like I love that we saw him as a teenager in this episode and how he took care of the kids at the foster home that he had been at ever since his parents were murdered, and he ends up killing the janitor because he was just walking through the hallway, and it's like you see the other kids got scared, but the one kid he
tracked mud on the man's floor. He swabbed right over his shoes. These are my only ones.
He said,
he didn't care.
Hey, you want to know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of Spider-Man where he said, "Why didn't you stop the guy?" I forgot what that was my problem.
Killed him.
But no,
Mic drop.
Yeah, I mean, I like that we saw that. I'm glad that it picked up like right after the house fire. It was still that same night, and you know everybody was at the hospital. Everybody survived except the one kid. I can't remember his name. The one who brought the beer to the party.
The one who put him in the 1 minute of hell or something like that. Yeah, I can't think of his name either.
But like, I like that because remember we wasn't sure if Chucky killed Lexi or not. Lexi, she still survived. Her sister Caroline, she survived, and then we see even Chucky survived. The house burned down pretty much, and Chucky, he was disembodied. It's like we're gonna start calling him Two-Face now. That's exactly
like Harvey Dent.
Little
Harvey Dent.
But D, so like, you know, what was your take on this week's episode?
I thought that it was cool, you know, seeing the characters, especially the kids, obviously coming together. You know, they're by the end of this episode, our main kids are all like, they're in on it now, you know. I mean, you see Chucky towards the end, you know, he does flick them off, but they all know that he's alive.
Yeah.
And I thought it was I like the flashbacks a lot, seeing him kind of grow up. Like you mentioned, we don't have any backstory on Charles Lee Ray. I wanted to ask you too, speaking of which, at the beginning of the first Child's Play, do you think he was just on the run for murder? Or what do you think? Because he knew some shady characters and it seemed like he was part of some sort of crew.
No, he wasn't on the run for murder. Remember, because they showed it in not Cult of Chuck, Curse of Chucky. Because remember, he kidnapped the one chick, and like they was looking for her, and then like when they finally found him, you know, that's when he made a run for it. But
gotcha.
Yeah, but I think in Curse of Chucky, he did end up killing the kid's father, and that's the reason why the girl was in a wheelchair, because he injured the mom while you know, I think he cut her stomach or something.
Oh yeah, because it goes way back, didn't it? Yeah. It was like something okay. Yeah, it was just weird because you know, he was like, well, I have a getaway driver and all that stuff at the beginning, and I was just curious to see. I would love to know what kind of stuff. Hopefully we get some backstory in the season 1, like going further, you know, because we're time jumping into his past. And I would like to see like what exactly he all got into. We knew he was disturbed. He's killed a couple people growing up, you know. So I would love to see some more of like what's up, because he knew the voodoo doctor, and then he had a getaway driver, you know, and in which he gets both revenge on both of them.
Yep.
But it's like, what were they all doing? What were they a part of? Was it just a gang, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't just like he was a killer, but was he like the gunman or something? Like,
man, for all I don't know, the getaway driver could have been the kid that he gave the hand to. And I'm hoping that we see that kid return. I'm hoping that we see the murderer from when he was a kid return. You know what I'm saying? Because
exactly,
it's just like, you know, like they're giving us these not Easter eggs. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like they're pouring
nuggets.
Cookie
crumbs.
They're pulling the cookie crumbs, and it's like I just want to see if we're gonna learn more about them. And I just like the fact that Devin, you know, he's investigating this stuff. We saw the parents, they were arguing and whatnot, and you know, one of them had mentioned that, you know, why is your son doing this podcast and stuff like this? Because it's like they think that they're trying to figure out like what's going on, because it's like Lexi wasn't supposed to be having the party. Then they had all the kids in the house and whatnot.
And then somebody died and their house burned down.
Exactly. So it's like they're just trying to figure out what's going on. I also like the fact that Lexi found out that Jake pretty much tried to kill her. And it's crazy because Jake hit a complete 180, because we thought, you know, from watching the trailers and from like how the show started, that, you know, Chucky, he was going to keep manipulating Jake, and then Jake was eventually going to, you know, become like him and start killing people. But I like that Jake said, hey, I'm nothing like you. He ended up saving Lexi. But then, you know, at the house, like the cop, he came and got him, took him to the hospital. And I
just want to say, Banks, that this is kind of like, to me, it's like baptism by fire. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and Lexi accusing Jake, like, you tried to get this doll to kill, but it's like she's seeing that she created this herself.
Yeah, she did.
And I like to see this kind of stuff. You know, it's character growth, and with it being such a severe like situation, it's like, well, shit, he wouldn't try to kill me if I wasn't a douchebag to him. You know, it's like, how can you tell this kid that it's all his fault with a straight face when she dressed up like his dying dad? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's very hypocritical. But it's just the other thing I wanted to mention, I almost forgot. I like that Junior's dad is getting closer to the edge. How's that song go? Don't push me
because I'm close.
Correct. Because hey, my man is about this close. Snap.
About
He's that close. Now his son can't run for a month. And I also too like how you had said early on, like now you got Jake, Lexi, and Devin. It's like they know what Chucky is, they know what's going on now, and they're gonna try and stop him. So I know like this season, you know, we've been seeing like all of the deaths on this episode. I'll say that I feel like the death, like Chucky killing the cop on this episode, was the weakest out of all of the kills, because it's like, I mean, I know you had mentioned before we started recording, but like when he had threw the what was it called? The syringe?
No, it wasn't the syringe. That's what he stabbed him with. Was it the scalpel? Yeah, he threw the scalpel at his back.
Not a syringe. Yeah. The scalpel, and it hit him in the spine.
Yeah, and then after that, he just kept on stabbing him with the syringes, and I was just like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like I feel like it could have been a better kill.
Had that Party City effect to it.
Yeah, because we really didn't even see him doing anything for real. We just kept seeing him. Like they kept the camera on his face, so we really didn't see what he was doing for real. So I just feel like it was the weakest kill this season so far.
Now, question. Now, this episode to me ends in a very weird spot where he unplugs the life support on the little sister,
Caroline,
and then he's outside the room flicking them off. It's like, dude, why don't they couldn't they just look over and say, hey, look, that doll did this? You know what I mean? It's like, why is he?
Make sense. Yeah.
What was the point of doing that and then just going in the other room? It just didn't. I don't understand what's going on right there.
Yeah. Well, I know that we've mentioned this in reviews before, where it's like, how does nobody know that there's a doll that's been going around doing this? You know what I'm saying? It's just like you have all these newspaper articles and stuff like that. You had all these murders over the years. And you telling me that like there's never, because I mean, like even the house where Jake is at right now, like they live in a mansion. You know, Junior's parents, it's like they're rich. They have a really nice house. And you telling me that There's no camera footage being caught.
That's unrealistic
of Chucky. Now, I can understand like if it was still the 80s or 90s, because like back in those movies,
not now.
It's like those were like in the first Child's Play, it was in an apartment building, and then in the second Child's Play, they were living in a house. So it's like I can understand that, but it's like these people like they live in a mansion, even with Lexi's parents. Like her mom is the mayor, so you would think that they have like security, all that stuff.
You would think.
So now let me ask you this. Do you think that Chucky is trying to get Caroline's body because they're the closest?
No, what I actually think is that he's going to I think he's going to get Junior. And then I also feel like another hunch I have is that the two moms, Junior's mom and Caroline and Lexi's mom, I think that's who she's seen.
You think? Because why do you say that?
Well, the scene where they're passing by and they just kind of like speak, but it's like they're on edge because of what's going on. But she goes out of her way to say something to her.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we'll see.
It's just little subtle hints like that. And I mean, this is, I guess, what you said, this might go 6 to 8 episodes.
Yeah, I'm looking on the Wikipedia right now, and it looks like it's just 6 episodes so far.
Okay, so now we have everybody. We have everybody that we're basically going to see in the season, I would guess. You know what I'm saying? We know all the suspects. And I think that they're both shady. I think they're shady characters,
Yeah. I'm checking now. I mean, you can keep on talking.
No, but there is the only problem with my theory is when they have the parent-teacher conference that went way too long, because they're not really that long. The mom does show up late. So where was she? Maybe she's seeing Jennifer Tilly.
Who knows?
I don't know.
It doesn't say. I think that it is just only six episodes though, because I know that they're saying that this is a mini series. And honestly, now that the 3 kids know who, the 2 kids know about Chucky now.
Yes.
I can't really see them dragging this out to like 10 episodes, because I feel like with when it comes to horror shows and stuff like that. Depending on like the direction that you're going, you really don't need a lot of episodes. I
think it's better short and sweet, man, because it's like I'm not, I didn't check out Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer yet, but I just feel like, when you're dealing with horror, it's about a limited cast and getting to the conclusion. It's like if you drag it on too long, it's just gonna feel unrealistic. Like we know what Chucky's all about, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to just kill people. But the other question is for you. How do you feel about this is after Cult and Curse.
Yep.
Now, do you think this is just one of the clones of Chucky? Do you think we'll get season 2 somewhere else?
Well, yeah.
Because there's multiple dolls.
Well, definitely that's one of the clones of Chucky.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a loaded question. But
the other thing is that I know on the Wikipedia it has been revealed that Jennifer Tilly's character, what was her character's name again? I can't remember it. Hold on.
I'm drawing a blank. I do not. I didn't even care for her character. So
what is her name? D. I'm trying to look it up. I'm on the Wikipedia right now and I don't see it.
Do you think the goal is for all these Chuckies, while you're looking that up, that they're supposed to be getting their own bodies? Like, I don't know. Because
probably that's a possibility.
But this is where Tiffany. Good call. But this is where it gets muddy. I want you to, I want to see your thoughts on the question I asked you, but it's like this is where the whole voodoo element of this whole thing gets muddy, because it was supposed to be Chucky had to get, or Charles Lee Ray had to get out of the body within a certain amount of time. Now all of a sudden it's 3 of them.
Yeah.
But then you have Tiffany, who was able to get her body.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what they're doing right now.
Yeah, it's weird, man. But yeah, on the Wikipedia, it does say that Tiffany's going to be up there. It says that Nika's going to be up there. That's the chick from Cult of
that
Chucky.
He stole. He got her body.
Also, Andy is supposed to be up here as well.
Andy's sweet.
I mean, he was the one. He did call Jake in the first episode. You know what I'm saying? So. And if it's only going to be 6 episodes, we got 2 more episodes. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out in the end. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I mean, it's been good so far. I don't have any complaints. The death on this episode is my only nitpick, where it's just like, I feel like they could have did more, or it could have been bad. Like I thought, like once he threw the scalpel in the guy's back, that he would have killed him with something else. But it was also weird too. Like he was dead, and you saw that the blood was already going over. It was going everywhere on the floor. And then Chucky, he ends up unplugging the device, and then everybody comes rushing to the room and whatnot. But
and they didn't notice the body.
They didn't notice the blood was on the ground. They didn't notice the cop.
Yeah, so
and
weird.
Yeah, it was just. I don't know. It's just like why did he want to go into that room? And
yeah,
I mean, it's not like he had a choice. The cop went in there.
Yeah, but why not? If you're gonna make a run for it, I don't think Chucky is that naive of a character to just stop, gloat, and then leave.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you not make a grand getaway right there?
Well, I think, of course,
this guy hopped up on the desk and flicked him off.
Well, he had to kill the cop because if he would have moved, then the cop would have noticed that Chucky was gone. But
but what did he get out of it?
I think he just only wanted to be at the hospital so that way that he could kill Jake and Lexi, because like that's his mission right now is to kill Lexi. Like that's the end game. So I'm just trying to figure out, because you got to think of it like now that it's 3 of them and they're going to be working together to stop Chucky, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to bring Junior into the fray so that way that he can help too. I mean, it goes back to the question that you were saying about like, well, are there going to be more Chucky's just going to show up? And if Tiffany and Nika,
she's probably got the real.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, Charles Lee Ray is in Mika's body now.
Yes, and see, and like
that's part of him is.
Yeah, he could put his soul in multiple bodies now. So yeah, but I mean, other than that, I mean, it was a good episode. You know what I'm saying? Final thoughts, rating for the episode, D.
I'm gonna give this episode. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I really like the direction that they're going right now. I wish the death in this episode was a little bit better. It was kind of cheesy, weak. Mm-hmm. I know that if this were a movie and they killed a random cop, I don't want to be too hard on it, because it's like if it was a random cop in a movie that got killed, it would be ordinary. But because it's a series, it just feels a little different.
Yeah.
Because random cops die all the time in horror movies. But I like the direction it's going. I need him to clean this stuff up, though. I need to know more about what's going on with the multiple bodies. I think that what may end up happening too is they may take this Chucky out, and then, spoiler alert, there's more of them.
Yeah.
So is it like we're going to become this group of Chucky hunters, because one of them is basically a detective already?
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. Your final thoughts on it, Banks?
For me, thought the episode was okay. I mean, like I like the development between Lexi and Jake. I like that, Jake finally stood up for himself against Lexi, and like he pretty much told her off. Like, the reason why I'm like this and why everything is like this is because of you. Like, you're the reason why all of this stuff is going on. So, yeah, I mean, I like that. I like that they're working together. I like that Devin, he's in on the team now. Like, he's smarter than he looks. I'm glad that he wasn't using Jake as an experiment like I thought he was. And I'm going to give this episode a 7 out of 10 as well. Let us know in the comments what you thought about this week's episode of Chucky. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think about everything? What do you think is going to happen next? D, let them know where they can find you at social media land.
You can find me at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Hey, Banks, look, man, Charles Lee Ray is back on the move. These kids need all the help they can get. Where can they find you at?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again, everybody, for watching this review. Make sure that you check out some more of our reviews, reaction videos, and interviews that we have here on the channel. Our podcast, where we have brand new episodes every Tuesday, and then the video of that episode is up here on YouTube that Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive, prepare for the Great Turkey War. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.